I'm going to show you guys how to play Black Ops 6 early with a quick, easy and sneaky trick. You're going to be able to play the game on October 24th rather than when it properly launches on October 25th. Now this may sound suspicious, but it's 100% legitimate and it's really easy to do. So if you want to play early, make sure you do this before the game comes out. Before we continue with the video, if you're looking to unlock the brand new Dark Matter, Abyss and Nebula camos in Black Ops 6, or grind them extremely fast in bot lobbies, be sure to check out Mitch Cactus, as these guys are the biggest and most reliable sellers, offering legitimate and safe services on all platforms. They now offer a new cheap COD point service where you can get up to an 80% discount. They already have over 10,000 reviews on Trustpilot, so for all things Call of Duty, visit mitchcactus.com and use code RAGER at checkout for 5% off. Alright, so as I say, Black Ops 6 launches on October 25th, but I'll quickly explain how to play the game early. If you guys go on to find it useful, then be sure to drop a like so that other people can find this video too. Now, basically the way it works is that because Black Ops 6 is part of the Call of Duty app, it basically runs off the Modern Warfare 2 base game to make it like the Call of Duty hub. So all of the games following that, Modern Warfare 3 and now Black Ops 6, basically act as DLCs to the Call of Duty game, which means it's much more difficult to lock it to a specific time, whereas in the past when you downloaded the game and preloaded it, you wouldn't be able to actually play it until it turns midnight in your area. So like I said, because of this, you can play it early. Now, what do you need to do? Well, it really depends on where you live in the world. The first major place in the world for the calendar to turn from the 24th to the 25th of October is New Zealand, and therefore if you live there, you're very lucky because you can be able to play it earlier than everyone else because of the time difference. However, there is a way to trick the game into thinking that you live in New Zealand and therefore you can play it early. You may have heard of this before, so how you do it depends on what platform you're on, so it does very much differ. I'll leave timestamps and chapters in the description so you can jump to a specific part for your platform. So we'll start off with PlayStation. For PlayStation, it is the easiest to do, so you shouldn't have problems with it. So first thing you need to do, regardless of your platform, you need to log into your Call of Duty Activision account that's linked with the platform you're playing it on. So log into your Call of Duty Activision account, and when you've logged in, if you go to the settings and go to basic info, you then want to go to address and you need to change it. Now you need to change it to an address in New Zealand so that the Call of Duty Activision account thinks you are a resident of New Zealand, that you live there. So basically you can either just find a random place on Google Maps, or otherwise if you type into Google New Zealand random address generator, it will allow you to generate a random address in New Zealand, then just basically put those details into your account so that the game thinks you live in New Zealand. Once you do that, if you play on PlayStation, here's what you want to do. Boot up the console and your game, make sure you've got everything preloaded and installed, and once it becomes time, you should be able to access the full game early. So in the UK that's 12 PM, in the US it depends on your time zone, so it's 4 AM Pacific time and around 7 AM Eastern time on the 24th of October. If you live somewhere else, you just have to convert it to whatever your time zone is for one of these. So for me, I live in the UK, so it's going to come out basically on midday on the Thursday the 24th rather than midnight on the 25th. So you shouldn't have any issues, and that should allow you to play the game early, no problem. What about if you're on another platform though? Well, if you're on Xbox, here's what you need to do. You need to do what we said already, so you need to log into your Activision account and you need to change your address, as I've said, to a New Zealand address, same as before. Just put in a random address and save that. Then what you need to do is, you may be able to do it without anything else, however, you probably will need to do an additional step, which is if you go to your console settings, go to general, go to language and location, and change your location to New Zealand. Then once you've saved that, you probably need to reboot your console, turn it on, load up the Call of Duty app, which includes Black Ops 6, and then you should be able to play it early, like I say. Same time zones as I've just mentioned. So again, that should be fairly straightforward. But what about if you play on PC, or if for whatever reason those methods I have just talked about don't work for any of those platforms? There is a third thing you can do, which includes PC. So for PC, the New Zealand trick does not work unless you own the Microsoft or Xbox Game Pass. If you do, you can play it early if you've bought it on Game Pass, and you can play it on PC the same time and with the same method as for Xbox. But if you don't have it on the Game Pass, if you bought it through another platform, there isn't an official way to play it early. However, there is something you can do. If you've got everything installed, if you know someone else who is actually in the game, you can get them to invite you, and if they invite you to a lobby, you can then play the game. I don't know if that means that you have to specifically be in their lobby, whether you can then back out and still be in the game, I'm not sure. People have also found workarounds where if you boot up the game, you can do a certain glitch to get into Black Ops 6. Feel free to look that up if you want. But basically, those are the main things that you need to do if you want to play the game early, depending on what platform you're on. The preload process is now live on all platforms, so make sure you've pre-ordered the game if you need to. Make sure you preloaded it, including all the content packs and everything else. You can preload everything so that it's ready to go, either when the game comes out on October 25th or early with the method we just mentioned. Hope you guys found this helpful. If you did, be sure to drop a like on the video and and check out my other Modern Warfare 3 guides, and I've got lots of Black Ops 6 videos coming as soon as the game launches, camo guides, weapon XP guides and so on, so you're not going to want to miss any of that. If you want to stay up to date with any of my latest Modern Warfare 3, Warzone or Black Ops 6 videos, then make sure to subscribe as well. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys all on the next video.